Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Gabe,
And it's Caleb.
and you guys are watching episode 17 of the Positive Outlook podcast.
Episode 17.
Yes, we're 17 episodes deep. Thank you guys so much for tagging along on this awesome journey. And so today we're talking about failure, why it happens, how to overcome it. And so I guess I'll start with a question. Caleb, do you consider yourself a failure?
Not overall, but
Okay.
I've definitely failed many, many, many times in my 18 years.
Mm-hmm. Do you think being a failure is a derogatory term?
Definitely.
I think, yeah, I get there's some negative connotation to it. I would
Mhm.
agree. But when it comes to failure, do you think it's a bad thing to happen in your life?
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bit.
Okay, why's that?
Because failure, as many people hear all the time, is one of the greatest teachers of all time.
Yep. That's true. There's always something to be learned in each failure. And so if it's good to have failure in your life, so would you say when you fail at something, are you happy that it happened?
Not at all.
No, you're not happy.
No.
I don't think anybody's gonna be happy when something fails because they're attempting it because they want to complete it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do fail something, you end up finding out maybe an alternative method that could work better, or you end up learning something to help you tackle it better for the next time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, failure is definitely a necessity, but why do you think it has a negative connotation when somebody calls you a failure?
Because it means you didn't accomplish what you set out to do, and why would you bring that up after someone failed at setting out to do what they wanted to do?
Yeah, I agree. And I heard this one quote. It says, there's no failure other than not learning from your failure.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that completely. I feel that every task or challenge that you have in your life, you have to tackle with that mentality of, if this doesn't work out, attack it with that I'm going to conquer this mentality. Yep. But if it doesn't work out, see where you messed up, see where you could have worked better, see where you could have worked harder. And there's a lesson to be learned in every failure. And you only really fail if you don't learn that lesson.
Absolutely.
And so what is something in your life that you have worked hard for, you've worked at for a while, put a lot of time and effort into, and it didn't work out?
I would say bulking, I guess, would be a good one.
Okay, just trying to put on some extra weight.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up to 180, and I had a goal set to be 170 by the end of the summer, and I'm about 10 pounds short of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know, looking back, I know exactly what I did wrong or what I didn't do.
Right.
And I'm ready to tackle this next cycle, if you will.
Yeah.
With a better mentality.
Yeah.
More discipline.
Right.
Ready to go for it.
And so it kind of just better equips you and prepares you with knowledge and experience to go at it again with more confidence and more efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Because when let's say you come out with a new product, if it has never been tested, because what happens in almost every test before they release a product, something goes wrong, right? If that doesn't happen, you're getting that failure in a bad place.
Yeah.
Like, it's better to, obviously you'll fail on stage per se, but it's always better to be able to fail before the final product.
Right.
Yeah. Because if I made all my goals come true without failing one single time, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, you would collapse as soon as something fails.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, what? This I was supposed to be perfect. My whole life's been perfect. I can't believe this happened.
Right.
And it would kind of just destroy you. And so now I kind of want to twist this into the fear of failure.
Okay.
Do you believe it's a problem in people?
Absolutely.
How come?
Because people hate failure so much that they get all anxious about it.
Mm-hmm.
All they think about is what's going to happen once I fail.
Right.
And it's just, it's Babe Ruth made the quote, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the fear of striking out stop you from playing the game, or something close to that.
Yeah, right.
And it's just people get so worked up about not wanting to fail that they just, if I don't attempt, I won't fail.
Right. But the true failure is not even attempting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, yeah, I agree. The fear of failure it's very prominent in society, especially because everything that we do in our lives is recorded and it's streamed everywhere. You do something and viral TikToks or Twitter videos where it's just people that did something dumb and then they regret it for the rest of their life. And so many people are afraid to do that. And honestly, I think it would be so cool to go viral for doing, accidentally like
fail.
messing up in something, and you go viral, and it's like, okay, well, now I really know not to mess up again, or now I really know.
Ben Askren.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
that was tough. But so it's a very good learning point. If you never attempt something that you think you're going to fail because either you're not prepared or you don't have the knowledge for it, then you never will be prepared or have the knowledge for it, just because you can't assess yourself.
Yep.
Like, I know when I was going to get my real estate license, it was the middle of COVID, and I signed up for the classes in about March.
Okay.
And so I signed up in March, and I didn't take my real estate exam until October,
Wow.
which makes you think like, oh, I had so much time to study, I'm gonna nail it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about the real estate exam is it's tricky. You never really know what's gonna be on it.
Right.
So I ended up studying for 6 months, went in to take the exam, and got a 60%.
Mm.
And I was kind of beat up about it.
Right.
I was like, usually things just come easy. I had so much time. What's my excuse for failing this? And so I told myself, like, I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how well I was prepared, what I should know. And so from that failure, I, was able to twist what I was studying, learn the things that I was lacking on, and I was able to take it again. And I failed it again. And so I failed it twice. But with 2 failures, I knew, exactly what I needed to hone in on and really need to perfect in my knowledge. And the 3rd time I passed it. Like, way better percentages than the 1st and 2nd.
And how much better did it feel after having that failure,
Yeah.
reevaluating, coming back again and again until you got it?
Yeah. And conquering that and knowing that, if it's something worth having in your life, if you get it on the first try, cool. But don't expect to get it on the first try.
Yep.
If it's worth having in your life, it's going to take time and it's going to take effort. And when you mess up, just don't drag yourself down. Don't beat yourself up. Understand that failures are essential in perfecting your craft. And I mean, not even in perfecting, in mastering. Perfect is a strange word.
Yeah.
Just because nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything. Nobody can do everything.
Right.
But mastering something is a different story. And it's close to perfect, but obviously everybody has their flaws. And so it helps you master your craft. And I personally love failures.
Mm-hmm.
I do learn a lot from them. They help me understand things better because I'm a kind of guy. I'm an analyzer. So when I see either a situation, and this kind of hindered me when I was growing up because I would see a situation and I would analyze it, and I was like, well, am I gonna be able to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And I would kind of just be like, well, no, I'm probably not gonna do it on my first try, so it's not efficient for me to do in my life. I'm gonna go do something else that I can do on the first try. And so it kind of stopped me from pushing myself and attacking all those harder challenges in my life. But as I grew up, I realized it's not fun to go for the easy thing.
Right.
It's fun to go for something that challenges you. It's fun to go for something that kind of scares you and that you can feel that you're conquering.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you conquer those fears, there's really nothing stopping you.
Absolutely.
And so, I don't know, I guess, how do you overcome fear? Or the fear of failure, I guess I should say.
Actually, that's I was trained, I've talked about this before, in the mindset wrestling. I don't think I brought it up since like one of the first couple episodes, but we did daily affirmations.
Okay.
And one of the 4 pillars that we had to say every morning in the mirror is I am not afraid to make mistakes or to screw up.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you first start off with daily affirmations, you're talking. Like, you're just saying the words because you were told to say them.
Yeah.
And after, I don't know, probably a week and a half, all of a sudden you start like meaning the words.
Yeah.
And, you think about them more because you're speaking about it. And you're like, it's just hammered over and over again that failing and screwing up is just, it's part of the formula of success.
Yeah.
There is no success without the failure, ever.
Right.
Not once. And so, you just keep telling yourself you're not afraid to screw up.
Yeah.
And it's more than just, I'm not afraid to screw up. Boom. You'll never be scared again.
Right.
It's just knowing that it's like you're accepting that you're going to fail.
Yeah.
And you are. You're not going to try to fail, but you know it's going to happen.
Right.
And you're going to go back to the drawing board, figure out what you did wrong, and get back up.
Yeah. And I think one of the very important things with positive affirmations, why they seem so silly or they might not work for you is you need to associate emotion with the words you're saying. And so that's why when people always say like think happy thoughts, it sounds silly because you don't when you're in a situation where you are scared or you're nervous, you're anxious, all those words in your head that are telling you like you're not good enough, this is going to be too hard for you. There is an emotion attached to those. There's fear and anxiety all attached to those. And then when you try to tell yourself like, no, you're going to be okay, you don't fully believe it and you don't attach the emotion. So you have to feel the words that you're telling yourself, which sounds weird. It sounds kind of like spiritual. That's not what I'm trying to like sound as. It's literally just psychology. You have to say the words and put yourself in a position, kind of take a step back, almost like tackle it with an alter ego, like Brandon Granger was saying on episode 15, and just kind of change your mentality on it. Pretend you're in a different situation or you're a different person where you are able to tackle this and associate the emotion with the words, and it'll get you through it.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And when you're doing the affirmations, if you need help adding, emotion, I'm not always the easiest to just like, sprinkle in some emotion.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right. What I like to do personally is put myself in that situation when I'm talking about it. So like after every affirmation I would think of a specific scenario where it would apply and just imagine like pushing through it.
Yeah. So
I used to wrestle. I'm not afraid to screw up. I would imagine taking a shot and getting landed on my face. And then, okay, so that was a bad shot. What do I do? If you can put it into the scenarios where you're actually applying it and they're not just words coming out of your mouth, it helps a lot. Yeah. And it adds that, emotional connection because it's something that you're very passionate about usually.
Yeah.
And I think that helped me a lot because, again, the first week I'm just reading the list of affirmations and just reading down the list. Like, okay, I'm doing it, And then it starts like, okay, well, this happened in practice today. This is what this means. You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just how you figure it out. You got to experience it too. Because it's always, anyone can read all they want. And if they never actually experience it, it means nothing unless you can apply it.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that along with that goes with, because I've watched a lot of motivational videos, read a lot of quotes. And the ones that really resonate with me are the ones that give me goosebumps and I apply to a situation in my life. So it's almost that, verbatim what you just said, where it's like I have, a quote and it applies to a situation in my life that I have lived. And it applies perfectly and I get those goosebumps and I get hyped up and I'm like, all right, let's run through a wall kind of thing. And so I guess I have a challenge for you guys. I want, I want people to go out there. I want you to find something that maybe you've been not tackling in your life because you're scared to fail at it. And if you think you're going to fail, then get that failure over with so you can learn and tackle it better next time. So I want you guys to go out and do something that you think you're going to fail at, and I want you to fail. I mean, obviously, I want you to succeed and be happy, but I want you to fail. If the failure is going to come, it's going to come. Quit putting it on the back burner. Quit pushing it away. Get that failure out of the way, learn, change your methods, and tackle it with more knowledge and aptitude.
And that's one more thing is, say you're scared and you're reading all these words and they don't apply.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you haven't put yourself out there yet. Maybe you're like, well, it's easier to say that than to do it.
Right.
And you've never had the experience of what, whatever you're reading says. Well, that's because you haven't experienced it yet.
Right.
We've brought it up on the podcast before, I'll read something and then months later I'll get in a situation and I'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I read about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's awesome. But do you have anything else to add?
Just tackle those challenges. They're not going to be easy. I mean, I'm leaving for school in 6 days.
Yeah.
And, that's going to be a big life changer.
And I mean, we're not 100% certain how, this is still going to go on. I mean, we have plans, we have ideas, but they might fail. And if they fail, we come up with an alternative method.
Oh, we're not just going to quit?
No, we're not just going to quit. If we fail, then we just come up with a different way to make it happen. And that's what you guys got to do. If you fail, find an alternative way to make it happen. Don't just say, no, I can't do that. Put it on the back burner. Make it happen, because you're chasing it for a reason. You know, it's a dream. Nobody has a goal set because they don't want to achieve it.
Right.
You set a goal to achieve it. And the journey you take to achieve that goal is going to be, there's going to be a ton of hiccups.
Yep.
It's not just going to be smooth sailing. There's going to be a ton of hiccups. There's going to be a ton of learning curves, things you have to find out to become the person you need to be at the end when you achieve your goal.
And think about it. Anything is possible, okay? I guarantee you 99% of all things that you can dream of have been achieved in a certain way.
Yeah.
And if someone else can do it, what is stopping you?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching again, and I hope you guys have a great Monday.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Go do something that you think you're going to fail at, and fail. And if you don't fail, do something harder, or you're just pretty good at what you tried to do.
Either way, at least you gave it a chance.
Yeah, right? All right, we'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.